a look at the ingredients we're going to need. So first, 250 milliliters of milk, then 250 milliliters of cream. The type of cream you use depends on what you're going to do with the custard. If you're just going to use it as a sauce, then any kind of cream will do. Double cream is good, or whipping or single cream. But if you're going to use the custard to make ice cream, then I would recommend only using single or whipping cream instead. The reason being, double cream has too much fat content. When you freeze it, it doesn't scoop as well as ordinary ice cream. It's very flaky and very crumbly because you've got too much fat in the mixture and it freezes too hard. So whipping or single cream is best if you're going to make ice cream. For ordinary custard, any kind of cream is fine. Double cream, anything you like. Then we need 1 vanilla pod, or vanilla extract, or a good vanilla paste, not vanilla essence. Then we need 6 egg yolks. We all remember how to separate yolks and eggs, don't we? Just crack the egg open, let the white run out into a separate bowl and pass the yolk from one shell to the other to let all the white drip away. Don't worry if you've got a little drop left. And in that goes. And then 75 grams of castor sugar. Now for this demonstration I'm actually going to use double the recipe that I just gave you, in part because I want to use the sauce for different things and also because it's easier to see in the video when I demonstrate it if I have a bigger quantity. So we begin by pouring the milk into a medium-sized saucepan like that, and then in goes the cream. And then, as before with the cheesecake video, just split your vanilla pod, flatten it out at the back of the knife, split down the middle, scrape out the seeds on both sides, into the milk. You can also throw the vanilla pod itself into the milk, so you get a really good vanilla flavour out of it, and that vanilla pod can stay in there until all the custard is gone. There's no danger of anyone swallowing it, it's too big to miss. And you can stay in there the whole life of the custard, and it will continue to give the custard a good vanilla flavour. So now we're going to put this on the cooker. Then we take the egg yolks and pop in the sugar. It's a good idea to keep the egg yolks moving the whole time when you're mixing in the sugar so that any lumps don't form it. They're very, very hard to beat out. And it's not really necessary to mix this with an electric beater. In fact, I prefer to do it by hand because that way you get to keep the colour, the nice yellow colour of the egg yolks if you mix it. Okay, so the milk and cream is heating up quite nicely. You can just see the steam coming off it there. What we're going to do right now, because it's not quite hot enough to start, but we're going to take a couple of ladlefuls of the milk just to add it to the egg yolk mixture. This will just help to thin out the egg for later, because there's a very crucial point later on when we need to add this into the milk and cream, and it needs to all go in at once. We can't have any left stuck to the bottom of the bowl, so the runnier it is, the better it will go into the mix all at once. And we'll continue bringing this to the boil. Most custard recipes tell you to add the yolks at this point when the cream is just barely warm, and to continue cooking it out very, very slowly, and to keep checking the consistency of the custard over the back of a spoon. This can take a long time. It can also be very easy to get wrong, as I've described it above. So what we're going to do is continue heating it, let it come to the boil, and then in just a couple of seconds we'll be able to cook it out. You can see I'm using a gas hob here. This works much better on a gas hob because you can kill the heat at the crucial moment. You'll see why later. If you have an electric hob, when the moment comes, just change the pot over to a cool electric ring, or whatever kind of cooker you have, so that there's no more heat coming up from the bottom, and so that your custard won't overcook. Okay, the milk and cream is just starting to come to the boil. What we want to do is bring this to what's called a rolling boil, where the cream and milk actually starts to rise up in the pan and the whole mixture is tumbling around quite a lot. It's that horrible moment when you know that it's going to overflow and spill over and destroy everything. We wanted to do it this time, not quite spill over, but come up nearly to the top of the pot. You can see all the vanilla seeds are in there already, looking great. Okay, here we go. You can see it starting to boil up now. Now this is the crucial moment because we need to have this at just the right temperature. Egg yolk cooks at 86 degrees. It's also very important to have your egg yolk at room temperature at this point so that the temperature of the yolk doesn't bring down the temperature of the mix. Here you can see the milk and cream is just starting to come up. So as soon as the milk and cream is boiling enough, turn off the heat and straight in with the egg yolk and stir it well. And just continue to stir and stir. Don't let it stop, don't let it rest. Already you can see it's thickening up quite nicely. And just continue to stir out for about a minute or so to ensure that everything is cooked in well. So as I said, now we've cut off. If you've got an electric cooker, remember to change the pot to another ring first before adding the egg yolk. So then take a bowl of iced water. And in goes the custard mix. A little bit. Should get a bowl that's big enough to take the whole pot in. And that will help to cool down the custard and prevent any more cooking. Continue to stir and just come back to it every few minutes. Keep stirring it around, make sure it's cooled down enough. If you just look at the consistency of that, it's a lovely thick, smooth custard. All the vanilla seeds are in there. Much better than a packet custard. So that's all there is to it. Once the custard is warm enough, pour it over your dessert. If it's cold, it works great with trifles. And if you want to freeze it, keep stirring it every half an hour and you'll have some lovely ice cream. As I said, very versatile, very delicious, and very well worth the effort. So give it a go.